Hey everyone, my name is Cas and today we're gonna check out this baby right here. Yes, this is the HTC VIVE COSMOS, which is the newest VR headset by HTC VIVE. And in today's video we're gonna check out a quick unboxing, do a little bit of the setup, see what that's like, and share our general first impressions on this headset. Hey, subscribe if you haven't yet to see more of these kind of VR videos. It is much appreciated. And well, how about we just get right to it? Let's do. So here's a first thought. The HTC VIVE COSMOS controllers are actually much bigger than I expected. I have the Oculus controllers right here, and you can tell the difference straight away. It's much bigger, I don't know. Maybe the HTC employees have much bigger hands or something, I don't know, but it's actually not a bad thing, because I actually like the grips of the bigger handle much more. It's much easier to hold them and to keep a good firm grip than these controllers. So definitely not a bad thing, but I do feel like that they are much heavier. So they are a little bit more front heavy as well. And actually, let me show you. 2 batteries goes into these controllers. So they are much heavier, but I do like the look of it. So my first impressions on the look is pretty nice. Let me try and turn them on and see if I can show you. Alright, so they are not turning on right now. It's probably because I need to install the headset first or something and pair them. Oh, it does something. Oh, look at that. This one stays on. Look how pretty it is. It is really bright, brighter than I expected. But that's pretty cool. So let's try and install and set up the headset now and just check what the tracking is like, what everything is like. So let's move on to that.
So the setup is simple. You download the Cosmos setup file that is available on the vive.com website as directed on the box. The setup will then install the VIVE COSMOS software that is needed to run the headset. It will ask you to connect the link box with the USB 3.0 and DisplayPort cable to your PC, as well as the power cable to a socket. And then you can connect the headset using the HTC VIVE's proprietary cable. It will then ask you to insert the batteries in the controllers and to pair them. After some firmware update, it will move on to the room setup, which you have to do inside the headset. The VIVE COSMOS room setup is now almost the same as what Oculus does. You see a pass-through image of your room through the cameras on the headset. You cannot see it in the video though, they seem to have blocked it, but here I was able to see my room while wearing the headset. I then had to look around until the headset fully scanned my play space. This worked out pretty okay, except it asked me to turn on more light in the room before I could scan everything. I also looked into my lights once and I noticed that the cameras tried to auto-adjust itself to the bright light, and then it would give me an error saying that the room is too bright. After figuring out where to look, I could scan my whole room. It then asks you to show where your floor is by moving one of your controllers to the floor, and once you've done that, you can start drawing the boundaries. This works just like with the Oculus Quest, just draw where you want the virtual walls and it will automatically create a play space inside it. After that I got in the tutorial.
It's also interesting that the controllers have 2 trigger buttons, an R1 and an R2. Wonder what they are going to use with that. I hope that's not going to be confusing. for shooting. But all right, let's put on the headset. Okay, so I need to adjust the back strap first by spinning around the dialer at the back. To say it's a little bit stiff though. Why is it so stiff? Is that normal? I'll just put it on my head to see if it will fit. Okay, all right. It seems to fit okay. Let me put it a little bit tighter. All right, so this is interesting, the flip-up design. This must be the best feature of this headset. Especially as a content creator, developer, someone who has to look at the screen a lot while recording VR. This is just awesome. Look at this. So easy. I like that. Alright, so I'm in the setup right now, or actually the tutorial already did the setup. Oof. I'm losing controller tracking. It could be because of my green screen. We might need to fix that later. Let's walk here. I can't even click anything. But the tutorial is over, so I'm going to try and fix the tracking by putting some stickers on my green screen. I had this before with a Windows Mixed Reality headset where using a green screen, the inside-out tracking would not work at all. So I'm just going to try and see if I can fix it by using the same method as I used to do there. It's been a while ago though, so I hope I still remember how. Let's try it. So I'm just going to put these pink stickies everywhere around me. I hope that's the thing to do. I actually don't really remember where I should put them, but at least it's worth a try, you know? Alright, I'm done. Let's try this again. So these stickies are supposed to be like little marker points for the headset to know where it is. Because on my green screen, sometimes the inside-out tracking cameras is not able to detect any depth, and that causes loss of tracking. I've had it before with Windows Mixed Reality headsets. I have not had this before with Oculus headsets, so this is interesting. But let's see if it works better now.
So after this, the tracking was much better, but still not the best. I tried out 2 games. First up was Beat Saber to check if the tracking could handle any fast movements, and I could complete all the expert songs that I played without much trouble. Although sometimes I did see my controllers fly away, but that didn't really matter in this game. I then wanted to try out a shooter to check what happens when I move my hands closer to my headset. I tried to run Onward, Contractors and HTC VR, but they all don't support the Cosmos controllers yet, so I could not try a shooter. I did, however, try out the bow and arrow game in the lab. A bow and arrow game is a good testing method for inside-out tracking because you move the controllers behind the headset when you shoot an arrow. Unfortunately, the tracking here was subpar. HTC has said that the inside-out tracking works best in a room with patterns or colors. Tracking works best against patterns instead of a plain colored wall, so if you play in an empty room, it is recommended to add some posters or something to create dimensions. They have said that the algorithms behind Cosmos will learn and optimize your tracking over time, so time will tell if it will improve. It's worth noting that if you have a play space where you have furniture or where you can hang posters, you probably have good enough tracking to play most games. Unlike us, most people don't have a green screen, we only have it because we make these kind of videos. We have yet to try out the tracking in a different room, but we will do that for a final review later on. So let's talk about some specs. Here's a quick refresher. If you want to know more about the specs, we made a video previously which I will link below. We will deep dive into the specs in our final review later on the channel, but here are our first impressions. The display. It is very clear, as expected. It did not wow me or anything, but it is definitely a beautiful screen. I found a hard time noticing any screen door effect, and while there is still glare, it is much less noticeable than older HTC VIVE headsets and even the Valve Index. There is a physical IPD dialer with a minimum of 60.8mm and a maximum of 71.60mm. I think if you use a little bit more force using the dialer, you'll be able to get a lower or higher value, but don't break it. As for look and feel, so far it is comfortable, but it does seem to get hotter in the headset compared with other headsets that we own. The audio is good enough and the microphone sounds okay so far. On social media, a screenshot has been going around where an HTC support employee has said that the controllers last about 2 hours, which made a lot of people think that the controllers have low battery life. Thankfully, this is not correct. I've played for over an hour intensely and the battery meter on the controllers still says that they are full. People who wear glasses should have no trouble getting the glasses in this headset. There is enough room and it's even easier with the flip-up design. So yes, aside from the tracking with our plain background, it's a beautiful headset, but is it going to be worth the extra money over cheaper headsets that can do the same? It's going to be hard to say it is, but everything we talk about in this video are our first impressions from 1 day of fast testing. So our thoughts can change in our final review after spending more time with the headset. Please let us know in the comments below what you would like us to test out these coming weeks for the final review. And if you have any burning questions, then join our live stream this Friday as we will test out the headset with you live on a couple of games. A special thanks goes to artArmin, our right hand patron, and a special shout out goes to his Patreon page. Everyone, thanks for watching. See you all in the next video, and as always, VR on.
Alright, this flip-up design is also going to be nice for drinking. While you take a break from VR or something. And no, I don't mean alcoholic drinks, just water.